Alright, this is the beginning of trimester 2. What we're going to start out by doing is reviewing some of the things that we learned in trimester 1. The first thing I want to talk about is all the formulas that you have learned so far. So, one of them happens to be the slope formula, and slope is defined as m, and we'll write this as the y minus y over x minus x. It's also known as rise over run. Standard form is a special form of a linear equation. Remember, that's an equation of a line. And what it has is it has the x and the y on the left-hand side, or first, as I like to say, and then we have it equal to a c value. A, b, and c are constants, and a and b cannot both be 0. If a and b are both equal to 0, then we just have 0 equals c, and that doesn't work out. So it's ax plus by equals c, where the x and the y are on the same side of the equation. When we're going to find the x and y intercepts from the standard form, this stands for standard form, what we're going to be doing is find the x-intercept. Remember, we keep the x portion, and we put 0 in for the y portion. Remember, the b's are constants. And to find the y-intercept, we keep the x, or the y portion, and put 0 in for the x, and then we would be able to solve. We'll do that in some other examples a little bit later on in these videos. The other thing we've talked about in trimester 1 is graphing. We know 2 ways of graphing. We could graph 1 by making a t-chart, and 2 by finding the x and y intercepts. We'll review both of those in these videos as well. And then this last part is actually shouldn't be there. We're not going to review graphing given a point and the slope. We haven't actually learned that yet. We'll do that this trimester. Getting started with some of these review questions then. What we're going to do is, I just said, what is the slope formula? Do you remember what the slope formula was from the prior page? If you do, go ahead and write it down. I'll write it down. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you already know how to find slope, or you think that you already know how to find slope, please pause the video and try some on your own. If you don't remember how to do slope, go ahead and work it with me. So we're going to do x1, y1, and x2, y2. These are always ordered pairs, x comma y, x comma y. But I just denote those as the first ordered pair, this is the second ordered pair. So that what this ends up being is I'm going to take y2, which is my -2 value. I'm going to place a minus sign between it because it calls for a minus, and then I'll place 3 here for my y1 value. My x2 value is 8, and I'll place a minus sign between it with my x1 value next. What this ends up giving me is -5. I changed my signs to plus the opposite. I should show that. -5 and a +3. This is not going to be reduced any further. We do not make it a mixed number, so we are finished. The next example I have here, I will do it in blue so you can see the difference. I've got x1, y1, x2, y2. Again, always x, y coordinates. I have my slope. My slope is equal to my y2 value, -5, minus my y1 value of 4, over my x2 value of -2, minus my x1 value of -3. Always minus signs between them. Change my signs to plus the opposite, and I'll come up with my answer of -9 over 1. That does just mean a -9. Last example here, x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Change my signs to plus the opposite, and I end up with the answer of 3 over 0. 0 on the bottom is considered undefined. 0 on the top is considered 0. So I'll write that as well. If I would have got 0 over 5, this would have been 0. 0 on bottom is undefined, 0 on top is